back to Little Reads. I'm going to be continuing to read this book, which is Magic Faraway Tree. I've been reading the book for quite a while now. If you haven't been watching the channel, please do follow my channel and watch the previous videos. I've read just about halfway through this quite large book. It is quite thick book. As you may already know if you watch my channel, I am a dyslexic reader, so for me reading a book of this size is quite difficult. So if I do make mistakes, please do mind my reading, and I will try and not make mistakes, but like little dudes I will make a few. So if I do make mistakes, please do comment in the comments below and help me out. And so a lot of times I don't know I'm making mistakes, so it'll be good to see where I can improve on my reading. So we have read last time we read The Land of Toys. So today we are going to read An Exciting Rescue. That's our next chapter today. To find out who we're rescuing from this land, please do watch my previous videos, which is quite a few now, and let's see how we get on with this one now. So let's see where we are. An Exciting Rescue. Okay, so here we go. Okay, so let's see what happens now. I got the chapter 14, An Exciting Rescue. The children, Moonface and Silky, went to the corked street of the Land of Toys, calling the old saucepan man. Of course, Saucepan Man is very deaf, said Joe. He might not hear us calling him, even if he was locked up somewhere nearby. They went on again, calling and shouting and calling. The toys hurrying by stared at them in surprise. Why do you keep calling Saucepan, Saucepan? Asked a well-dressed doll. Are you selling saucepans or something? No, said Joe. We're looking for a friend. Just then Silky heard something. She clutched Joe's arm. Shh, she said. Listen. Everyone stood and listened. They then floating on the air came a well-known voice singing a silly song. 2 trees in a teapot, 2 spoons in a pie. 2 clocks up the chimney, Heidi, hi. It's Saucepan, said Joe. Nobody but Saucepan sings those silly songs. Where is he? They looked all over. There was a toy soldier fort not far off, but of course much bigger than an actual toy fort would be. The song seemed to come from there. 2 mice on a lamppost, 2 hums in a bee, 2 shoes on a rabbit, Heidi, hi. Joe laughed loudly. I never knew such a stupid song, he said. I can't imagine how old Saucepan Man can make it up. It's coming from the fort. That's where he is locked up. Everyone looked at the red-painted fort. Soldiers walked up and down it. A drawbridge was pulled up so no one could go in or out. Then the soldiers, when the soldiers wanted to go out, the drawbridge was let down, and the soldiers stepped over it. When it was pulled up again. Well, saucepan is definitely in there, said Moonface. And by the way, don't call to him, any of you. We don't want the soldier guards to know that there are any friends of his here, or else they would guess that we want to rescue him. Let's try and let's try and let him know we're here, said Beth. He'd be very glad, as he must feel so worried and unhappy. I know a way of telling him we are here without anyone guessing we are friends of his. Said Joe suddenly. Listen. He stood and thought for a moment. Then he raised his voice and sang a silly song. 2 boys in a high road, 2 girls in the street, 2 friends feeling sorry. Tweet, 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 tweet. Everyone roared with laughter. It's very clever, Joe, said Rick. 2 boys, saucepan man will know that you and me. 2 girls, that's Beth and Fanny. 2 friends, Moon and Silky and Moonface. Saucepan will know we're all here. A terrible noise came from the fort. A changling and banging, a clanking and crashing. Everyone listened. That's all Saucepan dancing around to let us know he heard and understood, said John. Now, the thing is, how are we going to rescue him? They walked down the street, talking, trying to think of some good way to save poor Saucepan. They came to a clothes shop. In it were dolls, clothes of all sorts. In the window there was a set of soldier clothes too. Joe stared at them. Now, I wonder, he said, I just wonder if they got any soldier clothes, Moonface, lend me your money bag if it's got any money in it. Moonface put his money bag in Joe's hand. Joe disappeared into the shop. He came out with 3 sets of bright red soldier guard uniforms with big black helmets. Come on, he said in excitement. Come on, he said in excitement. Somewhere where we shan't be seen. They all hurried down the street and came to a field where some toy cows stood grazing. They climbed over the gate and went behind the bushes. Rick, see if this uniform will fit you, said Joe. I'll put this one on. But Joe, what are we going to do? asked Beth in surprise. I thought you would have guessed, said Joe, putting the uniform on quickly. We're going to see if we can march into the fort and get Saucepan out. I should think they will let down the drawbridge for us if we are dressed like our soldiers. This is third this is third suit for me, said Moonface. No, Moonface, said John. I think I didn't think you'd look a bit like look. I didn't think you'd look a bit like a soldier even if you dress like one. You must stay behind and look after Beth, Fanny and Silky. The third suit is for Saucepan. The soldiers won't let him take the soldiers won't let us take him out of the fort covered in kettles and saucepans. They would know it's the prisoner and stop him. He'll have to take off the kettles and things and wear this uniform. Then maybe we can rescue him easily. Joe, you really are very clever, said Silky. Joe felt very pleased. He buckled his belt, put on his black helmet. He did look impressive. So did Rick. Now we're ready, said Joe. Moonface, if you see Moonface, if by any chance Rick and I are caught, you must take the girls back safely to the tree, okay? Okay, said Moonface. Good luck, boys. Everybody went out of the field and walked back to the fort. When they got near it, Rick and Joe began to march very well indeed. Left, right, left, right, left, right. They came to the fort. Soldiers let down the drawbridge. Yelled Joe in Yelled Joe in his loudest and most commanding voice. The guards peered over the wall of the fort. When he saw the two well-dressed soldiers, they saluted at once and began to let down the drawbridge. Crash! It fell flat to the ground, and Rick and Joe walked over into the fort. Creak, creak! The drawbridge was drawn back up. Joe and Rick marched right into the fort. Soldiers saluted at once. I wish to talk to the prisoner here, said Joe. Sure. Yes, sir, said a wooden soldier, saluting. He took a key from his belt and gave it to Joe. First door on the right, sir, he said. Be careful, he might be dangerous. Thanks. Good man, said Joe, and marched into the first door on the right, unlocked it, and he and Rick went in and shut the door. Saucepan was there. When he saw the two soldiers, he fell to his knees. Set me free, he begged. I didn't mean to steal the toffee. I thought it was the land of goodies. Saucepan, it's us, whispered Joe, taking off his helmet so that Saucepan can see him plainly. We've come to save you. Put this uniform on, quick. But what about my kettles and saucepans? Said Saucepan. I can't leave them behind. Don't be silly. You'll have to, said Joe. Quick, Joe, help him take them off. The two boys stripped off every pan and made Saucepan dress up in the red uniform. He trembled so much with excitement that they had to do up every button for him. Now march close to us and don't say a word, said Joe. When the saucepan was ready, his kettle and saucepan laid in a heap on the floor. He fell over them as he scrambled across to Joe and Rick. Joe opened the door. All three marched out, keeping in step. Left, right, left, right. The other soldiers in the fort looked up, but saw nothing but three of their comrades. Or so they thought. Joe shouted to the guard, "Let down the drawbridge." "Very good, sir," said the guard, and let it down with a crash. Joe, Rick, and Saucepan marched out at once. Left, right. Moonface and the girls could hardly believe that the third soldier was old Saucepan. He did look different in his uniform. Without his pants hung around him, Silky threw a huge hug. And then the guards of the fort yelled out in a loud voice, "I believe that's the prisoner. I believe he's escaped. Hey, after them. Quick, run, run," cried Joe. They all ran. Fast. Soldiers poured out of the fort after them. Teddy bear and dogs joined in the chase. The animals pattered behind on 4 feet. "To the hole in the cloud," shouted Joe. "Run, Beth. Run, Fanny. Oh, I hope we get there in time." Oh gosh, now they are in a race to get back to the magic faraway tree. What a clever little boy he was to dress up all Saucepan Man in the soldier's uniform. But what is all Saucepan Man going to do without all his pots and pans? He loved those things. But let's see if they do get to the hole in the clouds. I'm sure they will. But we shall check that out next time.